All right, guys, we're back. Had a little bit of an issue there that I think we just resolved, so hopefully we'll be in good shape now. Can you hear me okay, Mark?
Hear you great.
Okay. Let me just double check, make sure. This is Dominick Dunn's concept here, and we got kicked out of his group. So we had to make sure that we could get this all worked out and resolved, and I think we did here now. It looks like people are starting to join us. Let us know if you can hear us okay, if you can see okay. We want to make sure that you guys can see everything and hear everything, okay?
Okay. Is it the last link that you put on the Booth Brothers? Is that the correct one? Which hasn't
Uh,
changed? Oh, I
yeah,
see it. I've got it now.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Thanks a lot. So I'll just share that around. And everyone watching, please, if you could like and share it. This is purely to raise money for the guys that are on the road. They've rented a car which cost them $1,700. They're driving all over the states, using up lots of gas, of course, and staying with people where they can, other times having to get hotels. So we're just, every single dollar that's raised will go to the players. 100% of the money will go to the players, and you will also have a chance to win with your donations. Lots of great prizes, which we'll tell you about during the night. So it's going to be a lot of fun, this match. As you can see, we got Dominick Dunn. Last night we were in the Dunksky dungeon. Tonight, I
Yeah,
believe we're in Rax. Is it Rax?
yeah, Rax Billiards. And Mark, tonight there's Dominick's betting some money here. So there's some money bet on this match. So it's not a true exhibition. So thanks, Nate. Appreciate that. We're kind of just making sure everything's rolling smooth. They're getting ready to get started. I think they're about to lag it up. We got a little Scotch doubles action. Race to 7, 9 ball. We got Dominick Dunn and Mario He versus Alex Kazakis and Jennifer Berzinski.
I love her surname. Berzinski.
The second match for tonight after this one will be Alex Kazakis versus Denis Grabe. The third match will be Mario He versus Oliver Szolnoki. So the partners from last night will actually be playing against each other.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
There
And
you
we got a
see.
little bit of sound from the venue tonight, if you guys can hear that in the background. So we should be able to hear the clang of the balls and some stuff that we didn't actually work out last night, but made some fine tuning here.
Oh, I don't actually hear anything from the venue.
You don't?
No.
Oh, no.
I don't know whether some other people might. Let us know, guys, if you can hear any sound from the venue itself. Rax there in Orlando. Thanks, Eric. Good to see you too, mate. Always nice to have as many people. And there you see we're using the wooden rack tonight. We're not using the template.
Mark, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear the background now?
No,
Okay.
just just your lovely tones, those Arizona tones.
How about now, Mark?
Yeah,
Yeah,
now I
now I
hear it,
hear it,
but I'm
but
getting
I'm getting
terrible
terrible
echo.
echo.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about now?
So they've lagged. That's perfect. So we do have sound, no echo.
All right. Well, here we go. Dominick Dunn's going to start us off. He's the southpaw. I don't know if you guys caught the video. Had a few professionals, Shane Van Boning, Allison Fisher, saying he's the best player in Florida. I guess we'll see that tonight. Did you catch those videos, Mark?
No, but it sounds a bit like an Andrew Cleary video production. I thought Andrew Cleary was the best player. Apparently not. So a little bit of safety at the start here.
Yeah, he played the 2 ball up table, and it's funny because last night we saw our Mario opt for safety on a number of occasions, and starts off tonight with the safety. It looks like Alex can see this ball, though, Mark. Probably try to bank it down where it came from.
I think can he pot this? Can he take it in the corner? I
Oh,
think he
yeah.
could. Yeah,
Good call, Mark.
yeah. He's
You're already on your commentating A game, and I'm dogging it.
it's normally the other way around. I've been watching Paul all day, so I've had lots of practice. I've been watching the Austria Open. I realised that it's free on Billiard TV, so I was thinking it was only on Kazoom, but it isn't. It's also on free TV, billiard.tv.
So I guess they're allowing coaching here. I think we're gonna have to message Dominick and tell him he's got to limit the coaching a bit, or this might get tough to watch.
Yeah, I had a very interesting conversation with my friend earlier when we were watching, and Scotch doubles really does need a shot clock. It's one of the games that definitely needs one.
Yeah, like in that case, Jennifer's a good player, and Alex kind of talked to her for a long time before that shot, and then she misses that shot by a few inches. I think if she's just left to her own on that shot, she's going to pocket it.
Yeah, I think he was telling her to play safe, wasn't he?
I think.
Yeah, I think he was. And Dominick's completely dogged that. Dominick the dogger.
Well, yeah, he did sell out here.
Yeah.
Alex took his time on that shot. He saw he's taking it a little serious here. I think there is some money bet on the side.
Yeah, you can tell, can't you? And the thing, with no disrespect, of course, to Jennifer or to Dominick, but they are the shall we say the slightly less talented players out of the quartet, and the pro will always try and get them as perfect on the next ball as possible and say just pop the ball, don't try and do too much with the cue ball, just leave me a shot.
Yeah, that's the fun part about playing Scotch doubles when you're the better player, right? You challenge yourself to not just play as well as you can play, but leave your opponent the best possible shape.
Yeah, especially with this kind of match. And it will be interesting, the other pairing of Mario and Dominic, they're of course opposite handed. So Mario's going to have to think like a left hander as well when he's playing position for
That's
Dominic.
a very good point, Mark. Guys, get this out there to the masses. People are getting off of work, looking for stuff to do. Free stream here. World class players and Dominick Dunn.
I see what you've done there. So Jennifer then, just stroke this in, nothing much to do. And it's going to be the first rack to Alex and Jennifer. Well played. So 1-0, Joey. They are up on the scoreboard straight away. You're right in there.
Yeah, they look pretty good there, Mark. And, they definitely have the more challenging last names. It's kind of interesting. You got the Dunn and he, and then you got the Kazakis and Berzinski together.
Yeah.
I hear people running their mouth a little bit in the background.
Oh, can you? What are they saying? Is it Dominic?
I can't repeat it, Mark.
Oh, okay. I've been on a streetcar today here in Tampa. Boiling hot day today, Joey. Too hot for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Weather's nice in Arizona, Mark.
yeah. I need to get there. I do need to get there.
Weren't you planning to go to Colorado? Good break, by
Yes,
the way.
I am. Yeah. Oh, that's a great break.
Yeah, they're in great shape here.
And
I
look at
think
the
they're
1-2-3.
now the consideration here, the 2 to the 3 is going to be executed by Jennifer.
Yeah, he needs
I
to get
like
her
West.
on the. I'd have
Yeah.
said get her on the 2 into the side so that she could run up, but obviously it was too difficult.
She's got a good draw stroke though. He just
Oh,
wants
has she?
that, yeah, a little bit of angle. Yeah, she's a good player, Mark.
Oh, okay.
See, I jinxed her.
Snatched it. Just trying. It's really interesting. As soon as a player, a lower Fargo rated player, tries to get a draw shot, they're thinking of the cue ball rather than the object ball, and they stab it. They're trying to bring the cue ball back instead of pushing the object ball into the pocket, just aiming low on the cue ball. Completely different thing.
Yeah.
Now then, don't think he's got him here. He's jumping, I think, is he? Just going to jump over the edge of the 8, maybe?
Yeah, he's got just the edge of that ball to get over.
I think there's already some sharking going on.
Sounds like it.
So, airborne. He's gone for the bank. Good effort. Needs a kind kiss. Didn't get it.
It's going to be a little tester here for
Oh,
Dom.
yeah. Nice little bank into the side, though. Automatic on the 3. Dom asking for a bit of advice. Oh, dear. Overdid it.
Yeah, this game might take a minute, this particular one.
And it's all about this 3 ball. Isn't it funny, isn't it, Joey, how one ball in a certain position can cause so much trouble?
Yeah, you're right about that, Mark.
It really is only that 3 position to the 5 now, isn't it? That's not a bad shot. I like that. I
Yeah,
like that a lot.
pretty clever there. You can see
Maybe
that's
an
what I mean,
edge.
Mark. You can tell she's an amateur player, but she's a good amateur. She knows what she's doing. She recognized that safety right there and how that 2 would hold.
Yeah, used the 5 as the blocker, didn't she? As the holder.
Yeah.
But he can see this though, and he made it as well. What a shot that is from he. Doesn't want to be
What
straight
about
though. He doesn't want to go in the hole. He's in the hole. He's
Oh,
not in the hole. Well,
I
now she's in a hole. Or is it
I think
Alex in the hole?
it's Dominick. I think he's corner hooked.
Oh,
No?
it's Dominic. Of course it is. I thought he was obscured by the nipple or the titty or the, what do you call it?
The point.
The point or the nose or the jaw. There you go. 6 to choose from. Oh, that's a
Oh,
terrific shot.
man,
Needs a
Mark,
kind kiss on the 9.
he's
He's
good.
got it.
Oh, yeah, he's good. He's come with a couple shots this rack. He's not messing around here. Roger's asking how late we were up last night.
Oof.
I think I was up. I think it ended for me a little after 11 p.m. in Arizona, which means, what was that, 2 a.m. for you, Mark?
It was about 2 a.m. for me, yeah.
And they were still at it when we signed off. They were still playing. I think Denis and Alex were playing a game of snooker.
Yeah, Dennis actually beat Alex in the game. I saw the tail end of it. I hadn't had enough, so I came to bed and I watched the last rack of snooker.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
That's funny.
so 1-1 then. And are we playing alternate break or are we playing winner break?
Well, I don't know.
We are playing 1 on the spot tonight. We played 9 on the spot last night with template, but tonight it's the wood rack with 1 on the spot. And the table looks nice, Joey.
Yeah, it does. Pretty well kept. I've heard good things about Rax. I haven't been there yet. Mark, you got to check it out before you get out of Florida.
I haven't got time. It's quite a long way for me. It's it all comes down to expense as well. At the end of the day, the only way I can get there is by Uber or flying, of course. But
Hey, have you ever heard of something called Zipcar?
no.
I used to use it when I lived in Washington D.C., and it's a service where you pay. I want to say it was like $20 a month, and then you could basically rent cars by the hour. It was kind of neat. So you pay
Oh,
like
really?
$9 an hour. You can rent a car. You walk up to it. They give you like a little fob, maybe for the next time you're in town, and you use that little fob, and it unlocks the car, and the keys are inside, and you take off. I used to use it when I lived in Washington D.C. because there's really no need to have a car. There's so much public transportation. But every once in a while, I wanted to drive to a pool tournament or get outside the city. But Zip car, look into that.
I'll definitely look into that. We have it in the UK. I know we do. I'm not sure it's called that, but it
Yeah, you
sounds
guys.
interesting. It sounds perfect for what I need.
Yeah, get you to Orlando. That's a good shot there by Dom if it falls, but no. This table looks a little tighter than what they were playing on at Dom's house last night in the dungeon.
Yeah, they were 4.5 last night, weren't they? Maybe it's slightly smaller. It wasn't really accurate, though, to be honest, Joey, that one. It was about an inch out.
Yeah, but it started an inch out, so he cut it directly down parallel to the rail. It's just I thought it was going to fall, but not quite.
No.
It's a good shot by Alex. Takes some precision to draw that ball to there.
I think, is that the 4 down by the 9?
Yeah, I think he wanted to get a little straighter on it though. But he can follow here. He'll nudge the 5, or she will nudge the 5. Cue ball will kind of go up. Although Alex, the way he's pointing, seems to be that they're not going to hit the 5. Let's see. Yeah, they did hit the 5. She really put her,
Oh, that's unlucky.
got a little unfortunate there. I like the way she hit that ball though.
Seems to have a nice stroke.
Yeah.
Now, we might have a little surprise at the Ohio Open starting on Wednesday, Joey. We've had a question asked about, is there any age limit on the participants that can register? We have 50 for it so far, and there's a young person. I'm not going to name them yet in case it doesn't happen, but he's just 10 years old
Wow.
and he's looking to play in the CSI Predator US Pro Billiard Series. Now, what a great story that would be if he could match up against one of the top players. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it sure would. It's really cool. Hey, Mark, we got a special guest here who's going to help us out calling some of the action. Let me bring him in now. Hey, Dell, can you hear us?
Hey Joey, hey Mark, how you doing, buddy?
Dell, Sim, what a lovely voice to hear. Hello, mate. Are you good?
Very good, mate. Yeah, I enjoyed sweating the action last night, and Joey's very kindly invited me in to come and do today with you guys.
Brilliant. It's a nice surprise. He loves surprising me these days, Joey. He doesn't tell me anymore. He just does it to surprise me.
Joey's the boss. You got to deal with it now.
Yeah. Actually, Dell, I hear we might be commentating together on the 14-1.
There is potential there, mate. Billiards Sports Network were due to be doing it, but I'm not entirely sure what the plan is for October. So I'll have to keep you waiting on that one, mate, until I confirm.
Okay. So,
What have I missed? What have I missed so far?
Pretty even match so far. It's 1-1, obviously, but I think after what we've seen so far, I might have to give the edge to Kazakis and Berzinski here. I think they ran out a table pretty easily in the first game, and Dominick and Mario got the second game. But I'm going with Alex and Jennifer. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, I think they are the stronger pairing. Dominic is, I would say, slightly weaker than Jennifer, if that's fair to say. I haven't really seen much of them playing, but Jennifer certainly has a nice stroke, and well, we know what Alex can do. So really, it's Alex and Jennifer against Mario.
That's cruel.
Oh yeah, that is sellout city. And
Yeah.
I think he's just showing how knowledgeable he is about the game and safeties. I think he should stick to shooting. Oh, sorry, we should tone it down for this one, Joe. Right? This isn't like a dungeon stream, right?
No, it is in the dungeon, so we can pick on Dom as much as we want.
We can. All right, good. I just want to make sure the ground rules are there.
Yeah, which by the way, I just looked it up. Dominic is a 566 Fargo with about 1,500 games in the system, so it's probably pretty accurate. But I know he is trending upward.
Okay.
And Jennifer has a Fargo. Joey?
Looking at it now, trying to find it.
So 2-1 then, guys.
What did I say Dom's Fargo was?
563, did you say?
566.
566.
So Jennifer is a 556.
Wow. And how many games?
She has 2,127.
And what are you these days, Del?
What's that, mate?
What's your Fargo?
Me, I think I've just dropped down. Actually, I'm out the 700s. I'm 692 or something. Joey might be able to clarify. I'm 692 or 3.
I think you're 93, aren't you, Joey?
You're heading the same way as me, Del. The wrong way. No, you're 694, Del.
Oh my god!
How do you live with yourself?
I know, right? I can't even look in the mirror anymore.
Oh boy.
No, my competition, I haven't really played. I haven't been playing a lot of tournaments, and it does matter. I think you have to keep it up.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Alex. So I love Alex. He spent a lot of time in New York when he was sort of coming up. I say the pre-Predator days, and he was always good action, always good fun to be around. Very knowledgeable on the game. It's one of the many things I think that we take for granted as pool players. The fact that you get to hang out and ask questions and try and feed off some of their energy sometimes.
100%. That's the beauty of our sport, right? Everybody wants our sport to grow, but what they fail to realize is that we're really in a great spot as players trying to improve because we get to talk to these guys and gals, right out at the events. Look, Dom just hit a pretty nice shot there, broke out the 3-ball. Yeah, we have access to them that once the sport does grow, we may not have access to them in such the same way anymore. So let's take advantage of it now. Most of them are very personable, approachable, and especially if you're respectful, say, hey, I'm a fan, but I got a couple questions for you. Can you teach me this shot or show me something? They usually will.
Genuinely, they do, mate. And it's one of the great things about having a house pro, and being able to respect that when they're practicing, just leave them to it. But if they take some time out, or they go to the bar, or they engage with you, I find that very, very lucky being in New York, just having access to those types of players. They'll give you feedback too. They'll watch you play or practice, or sometimes, and you'll come off and they'll say, "Hey, have you thought about tweaking this?" Or I thought you played a fantastic shot there. It can give you a confidence boost sometimes.
Yeah, you're right.
Who have you got local to you at the moment, Del, talking, just so, let people know what pros are in the New York area, for example?
Most prominent for me is obviously Torsten Homan and Mika Immonen, just being that they're in the local vicinity. if you're talking about high-profile players like that, obviously Tony Robles has moved to Florida now.
Yeah.
But then you're looking at the up-and-comers, Rafter Breo at New City Billiards. You've got Jonathan Smith, who's he's a seasoned pro out of Society Billiards in New York. All these guys are great coaches as well. Michael Yednak, there's nothing he doesn't know about the game. Alex Pagulayan comes through quite regularly. We're very, very fortunate in that regard.
Have you seen much of Kang Lee playing? I know he plays at Karam Cafe, right?
He does, but he's been more prominent. I'm good friends with a good sparring partner really with Kang Lee. He loves to get in action all the time. I would never play him at 3-cushion, put it that way.
No.
He recently approached me and asked me, what's the best way to get to learn 14-1? So watch this space, because as soon as he learns 14-1, we're all in trouble.
Yeah. I had the pleasure of spending a lot of time with Kang in Michigan. He played in the CSI event there, and he's just such a lovely guy and a real talent as well. And his pool game is really coming on. So he's got a really nice stroke, which of course you need for Karam as well. And he really is a great guy. I mean, he was serious about it as well. He's actually in Austria at the moment. So yeah, great guy.
Yeah, I fully agree, mate. And yeah, I'm sorry to go off topic. I could talk about other players all day, but let's. I'm just kind of looking at the game now. This is Alex at the table, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Alex and Jennifer.
Jennifer, right?
Yeah.
What do you like here, mate? Do you play the bank to attack, or do you play the cut to attack?
I'm playing the cut to attack. So I think you're swinging the cue ball around and you're going to go somewhere near that 8 ball and maybe end up.
I like that option. So, maybe overcut it, but it looks like
Yeah.
she's going to try and bank it into the space between the 7 and the 9. So
She's
play
not
that up down safety, right?
Yeah, what's your feeling on this? Joey and I were talking about it just now about, she knows what shot she wants to play. Alex wants her to play something different.
I think that's the shot that Alex wants her to play. And,
Yeah.
like you said, she wasn't comfortable there, but
That's what I like that, because you're always going to go for cover around the back there, let's see. I thought that was the right shot.
yeah, definitely so. Just checking out there, guys. If you can just let us know if you can hear me and Mark. Joey's just stepped away for a quick second, so I just want to make sure you can still hear and you're receiving us.
Oh, we got Jeremy Mason in from the Sweat. Hi, Jeremy. Good to have you with us, mate.
Yeah, he's really, really doing some good things on his podcast, taking his own equipment and stuff like that. Good stuff, right?
Yeah, he really is. We've done a little collaboration with him from Las Vegas and from Michigan, where we were doing streaming some side tables. I'm sure you caught a few of them. And
I did,
yeah,
mate.
Jeremy was a part of that. He's doing a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to meet him down in Maryland for the first time. I think it was last year, in fact. But didn't realize he was down in Delaware, actually, which isn't too far away.
Looking at this, I don't think she can make the Karam into the 9 here, can she, if she plays the pot?
No, I mean, if you're going to be super aggressive, is it Alex's shot?
No, it's Jennifer's.
Jennifer's, okay.
The bank you're talking about, are you? Oh, no, it is. Perhaps it is his. No, I think he's just trying it out.
He's thinking about trying to play it off the 8 and go forward. I don't know about that.
No,
That's too
I
risky.
don't like that. It's too risky. You don't know where the 8's going, do you?
Hey, thanks for confirming the sound for us. I hope everybody's enjoying this. I'm going to try and stick around as long as I can. I do like the format. I mean, I must admit, I enjoy watching Scotch doubles more than playing it, mainly because of what we witnessed between, Alex and Denis last night on the stream. I'm a decision maker. I'm someone that I have to go my own way, and if it doesn't feel right in my head, I didn't understand that shot.
No, I didn't either. Unless he's looking at a kick and stick.
Or is he going to try and cross bank this, the one pocket shot?
Oh, yeah.
There's enough room there to get the 8 back across.
Yeah, should be okay with the double. Won't make the double kiss, I don't think. Might have to. No, he's playing the kick and stick, though, I think.
Yeah, see, interesting there. He's put a lot of draw on the ball just to make sure
Yeah,
that was 6, but he didn't get the contact. But he still got the rail with the cue ball. And look at
that's
that.
what he needs. Yeah. Oh, ho, 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 ho. I
He got
tell you
both.
what, he breathed a sigh of relief there, Del, because he didn't hit that well, did he?
He didn't hit it well at all, mate. It was a good job he hit the rail with the cue ball as well.
Yeah. Dominic didn't like that one very much.
No, Dom's very animated at the table. I love his personality and his charisma at the table, but you can tell if he gets down on his luck, I think that's going to be their best bet because he'll start to stab at things and start to slash. And I wonder if Mario is a strong enough character to keep him in check. I don't know much of Mario. I must admit, I know I've admired his game from afar, but don't know. I certainly know more about Alex's game.
He's a very quiet man, Mario. Just you'll see him at the venues, at the tournaments, at the events, and he's quietly goes about his business. Generally ends up at the business end of tournaments more often than not.
Seems like an introvert, but I may be completely wrong. But I'm just going off of his demeanor, from where I see him around tournaments and things.
Yeah, you summed him up pretty well there.
Alex takes the lead again. I think that's 3-1, is it?
Yeah, it's 3-1. Yeah, Joey's neglecting his duties at the moment. He's busy doing some technical stuff, I think.
Yeah, we can keep score. So it is 3-1, guys. Race to 7. Just remind me, Mark, what's on the line here? Are these guys betting anything?
Well, there is something on the line. No one said what it is. Last night they were playing for gas and breakfast. As you know, the guys are going around in a car that they've rented, cost them $1,700, and
Wow.
obviously they're clocking up the miles. So they were playing for gas for the next 2 fill-ups last night, and Mario and Oliver lost.
One of my first road trips, I bought a vehicle on eBay with a friend of mine from the UK back in 2012, and with the thought of obviously touring because we knew that renting would be too much.
Yeah.
We ended up buying the vehicle for like 2,800, and then selling it again in Texas when it had done 12,000 miles more for a profit. And so it worked out great. It was a little sleeper van actually. It was a little camper van.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so we saved a bunch of expenses on that. Ended up coming out positive after the tour. But I recommend it to anyone that's up and coming or wants to try the experience, even if it's just for a couple of months, and you have the opportunity to do it. It's such a fantastic experience.
I wish I'd done that now. The money that I've spent on hotels and flights, I think I've done about 6 flights already.
A beautiful country to tour, mate. I think I've driven 23 states now. So
wow,
yeah, beautiful place. And obviously, I live in New York now. So how do you like this? You like
yeah, I like the safety here, don't you? Down behind that little cluster down the 869, thin off or half ball on the 1 ball. I should say.
Any shot clock on this one, Mark, or are they just do they have enough time to coach each other?
It is, but it's not a second hand. It's the it's the minute hand. I think they're using as a shot clock. So how's the tournaments going for you? Are you saying you're not playing so many?
No,
I know you're playing a lot of 14-1, right?
Yeah, I'm focused on work at the moment, but I play a couple of leagues here and there, but they understand my schedule, and I might play 5 or 6 games in a season, but just help out where I can, that type of thing. 14-1 is still my favorite game because you get the most play time. I don't have
You
to
might make the 3 here. Doesn't want to. Oh, what about this for a shot?
Oh my god! What's up, Jen? Hopefully, it's Dom next as well.
It'd be great if it is.
Yeah, we'll have to get him mic'd up for the next one.
Yeah,
mate.
we should have. It was funny last night when he was walking around with his phone, asking the players how they felt just after that argument between Denis and Alex. That was quite funny.
So this is where Mario's knowledge will, come in, and it's where it's good to kind of partner with a pro on this side. I don't like his chances of hitting this at all.
No.
Yeah, it was a great safety.
I think the only ball that didn't
Nine
move was
Fox
the
as
2
well.
ball or the 1 ball.
Don thinks he's won. But
You
again, Paulie.
mentioned, you mentioned Mika Immonen earlier. That's one of the players that you often see around the New York area. And just to say, he won today on a shootout. He hates that shootout, but he won one today against Wojtek Szewczak, which was good to see.
Yeah, not an easy opponent there at all. And yeah, it was good to watch on Billiard TV today. I've seen an improvement in his game, more from the mental side, I think, from Mika. He gets down on himself a lot. He feels like, I'll be honest, I think he gets the worst roll out of any pro ever. But he doesn't help himself with, the negative reactions when when it's not going his way, But I think he's improved upon that and understands, it's part of the game.
And plus somebody with the record that he's got. I mean, there's not many that have got more titles than he's won. And
No.
When you're getting old, he's nearly 50, I believe, and it's tough, right? When you're not quite the player you were, but you still got that ambition, that drive, that desire to win, and you just sometimes it gets you down a little bit. And as you say, he does let it get to him a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, when you think you can achieve more, don't scratch. Ooh. But yeah, you kind of you got to remember, he was player of the decade, 2000, 2010.
Yeah.
And the world titles he has, and he still had, guys in great shape. It matters now. It matters. Oh, that was a poor shot by Alex. Just decelerated. Didn't get through the cue ball at all. Just goes to show, mate, you can take it for granted at any level.
Yeah, you can't take your eye off it. You can't relax. Every ball, no matter how simple they are, still has to be made in the correct way, right?
Yeah, exactly that, mate. You can't let it get the best of you.
And they never forgive you the balls.
There's a nice two-way here as well, though. I still like taking on the bank because I still think the bank affords some safety by getting distance between the cue ball and the 6.
Yeah, you're playing it in the corner bank?
Yeah, by the 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think they should speed up a little bit on the coaching side. I feel like they're lining up every shot before they're letting their partner go.
Yeah, it was happening quite a lot. That was the problems with Denis and Alex last night. They were discussing and changing their minds and discussing. And Joey, oh, look, she's cut it in.
Oh my God, she's
on fire.
That went in like it had eyes.
I like that. Yeah, we're digging this too, Dominic. Oh, sorry, you're dogging it. Sorry, I thought you said digging it. We're digging it. We're digging it. You dogging it.
Yeah, he's a funny character. He's commenting on Facebook while betting on the side.
I thought he did a great job in South Carolina, actually.
Oh,
doing
I wasn't there for it,
and
mate,
stuff.
but a lot of feedback said that he did. I can't believe.
Yeah, I thought he'd done very well, and his love for the game is huge. So missed there by Alex, trying the cross double, got the double kiss. So chance for Mario to pull one back with Dominic.
What would you say? Would you say he's an amateur trapped in a pro's body, or the other way around?
I think he's got the mind of a pro. He knows what to do. He just can't do it.
But just got the stroke of a dustman.
So 3-2 then, 1 in it. Race to 7. Muhammad O'Ali. Do you know Muhammad?
Yeah, you might have seen him actually down in I think he was in Aiken. He came down. He comes up to New York quite a bit, but resides in Florida. So one of the Seminole few.
I always see him in the chat, and I know he watches Booth Brothers, and he's always in and around the Facebook action.
Yeah, he's another character, much like Dom. A big passion for the game. Semi-retired, ex-military.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Thank you for your service, sir.
A fellow lefty, damaged in the head, quite clearly. He'll say it's from battle, but I think it's just normal. Look at that. Boom. That was a nice break. He missed the cut on there, but luckily got the 6. Very,
look at the 2. Oh, is that the 2-5?
yeah, looks wide, doesn't it?
Yeah. So all about making the 1 ball, and I think he can just sneak between that gap, can he, Del? Just miss that 8 ball, go between the 7 and the 8.
Everything there, mate, is about speed control. I like just using just right spin on this and just twisting it in, using the rails to slow the cue ball down.
Yeah.
Some people would play it with drag, but with drag, I'd be scared that I might, contact the 7.
Yeah, and on the drag, some people decelerate on that shot, and that's quite a wise shot. If you're not happy with it, the great Tony Robles told me in commentary. Oh, I think there's a window there. Look. Tony used to say, if you've got a dead safety, why go for an 80% shot pot? Which I thought was quite a good analogy.
Safeties win matches, as he told me. Look at that, the Watford gap. You're the only one that would get that. I say that a lot on commentary, and I forget I'm in America, and people are like, what's the Watford gap?
Yeah, we were talking about that last night, about Englishisms while we're in America, but even the great Jeremy Jones is using lots of English terms. We were talking about that last night. Screw instead of draw, and side, and potting the ball, breaking off.
Yeah, there you go. This is their chance to get back into it now. This is a big frame to draw level.
Yeah, and it's a much shorter race tonight than it was last night. We ran into 15 last night. Of course, this is just a 7.
We got some more matches after this, Mark?
Yeah, we've got we've got another doubles match, I believe.
Lovely.
Or perhaps we haven't. I know there's 2 more singles. Definitely. The players that were partners last night are actually playing against each other tonight. So I know there's 2 more at least. And this is all, of course, to raise money for these guys. I believe we raised over $1,000 last night, Del, for these guys.
I mean, that was amazing, mate. I think it was 1,500 was the number I saw. I think that's
fantastic. Really? So it's gone up even more. Brilliant. Fantastic.
Yeah, great show of support from, and this is why I regard the pool community as, they're almost family in that regard, because they do look out for each other. There's always going to be some idiots. Thank you, Joey. Joey just confirmed for us. It will be Grabe versus Kazakis next, and then Oliver versus Mario in the second game. So yeah, I'm sure if you guys stick around, we'll be straight into the action.
Yeah, Oliver, fresh from his 9-ball bar table, and he said, did you hear what he said last night? It was the first time he'd ever played 9-ball on a bar box, and he won the tournament.
Mark, actually, I think he said it was the first time he's ever played on a bar box, like any game.
Oh, the first time ever, any game. Wow.
Yeah, and he wins the tournament.
And it was a strong field. He beat so many great bar box players as well, didn't he?
He sure did. I think we should convince him to move to the United States, live in the Midwest, and just play bar box tournaments.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm a purist. Us Europeans, we just don't see bar box anywhere in Europe, quite honestly. But you have to learn. You have to kind of respect it on its own individual merit, and give it the right level of attention, shall I say.
Yeah, it's funny, Del, when you play on a bar box, you come off a big table, you go play on a bar box, and it's almost like, how did I ever miss a ball on a bar box? But you do. You find ways to miss balls. It's kind of like I used to have this. I used to play in the Planet Pool Tour when I lived in Maryland, and they had a few rooms that had a 12-foot snooker table. And I thought I had like the move, right? I would get to the pool room early. I'd grab pool balls. I'd go over to the snooker table and I'd shoot them into the holes. And then when you got on the 9-foot tables, they look like bar boxes, And so I could pocket anything, it felt like. But then, I'd get out of line or, just, not be as polished as I need it to be, and I'd still end up missing. But it's funny like that sometimes.
It can go back and forth. It was a big kind of ploy from me because we would play English pool. If you went from the snooker table to the English pool table, you could essentially fit 4 English pool tables onto a snooker table bed. Right? So you would
Yeah.
come off the snooker table thinking you were God because everything looked so close.
But never do what they did last night and go the other way, because it's always so much more difficult to go from the smaller table to the bigger table, isn't it, Dale?
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal.
I mean, it was brutal. We were saying that, you got top class pros missing balls by 4-6 inches, and it just shows how different the two games are.
Yeah, they actually overheard us, Dell, talk about. We were talking about Alex missing a ball by 6 inches, and he said, "Come on down here. I'll play. I'll play one of you commentators some."
Brilliant.
I'll
I
play
refuse
Alex
to play it.
anytime.
Yeah, the other phenomenon that I think is really interesting. There's been many tournaments where, you'll have a room that that particular room will have a tight table or two, and then a bunch of normal tables, right? And so you'll play on the tight table, and maybe you're doing pretty decent, and then you get called up on the table that's got the buckets, and you're just like, well, how will I ever miss a ball on this table? And it's like you take it for granted sometimes,
Yeah.
and you don't really bear down and focus. I've had tournaments before where I play on the tight table, I play great, I move over to the buckets, I can't, it's like I can't even make a ball. It's the weirdest thing. There's a
And
good shot.
that is exactly why I'm an advocate for tighter pockets, because it will improve the standard of play overall. What do you reckon, Dale?
I'm 50-50, mate. When I was living in the UK, I would have absolutely said that because every table you play on is 5 inches. But now that I've come over here and you've played on different equipment, and I think the standard's getting better, I think for 9 ball and certain other games, you need to be able to cheat the pocket. So 425 would be the maximum for me. Any tighter than that, and I think you're looking for a different style of game. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah,
So you said
it's an
4.25.
interesting one.
Sorry, Mark. You said 4.25.
Yeah, I say 4 1/4. I think 4 1/4 is perfect for 9 ball, and 4.5 is perfect for straight pool. And then I would say like maybe some of the games like one pocket, yeah, 4 inches and below. That definitely makes that game more interesting and more difficult in that regard. But there's certain games where I think you need to be able to cheat the pocket. You need to be able to have that ability to move the cue ball a little more.
Yeah, I'm curious. We have a bunch of people, 145 people watching across the different platforms. Guys, if you could share this for us, get it out there. But curious to hear what you think about pocket size. Do you think maybe the 4-inch pockets are a little too tight? 4.5, you want to keep it standard, or you want to go somewhere in the middle like Dell does for 9 ball with a 4.25? I actually like the 4 1/4 for 9 ball as well. I think that's, or any rotation game, especially for top level players. Keeps them honest.
I agree. I think it does keep them honest. You're exactly right. But it makes it challenging for them as well because here's the thing, you're using spin and draw a lot in this game, whereas for the other games where the pockets are tighter, like snooker, you're really only using top, middle, or bottom. It's kind of that would be my take on it anyway. So I think you need to be able to spin the ball in this game.
My thoughts on this subject, Dale. It's interesting what you just said about snooker, about they use less spin, and they actually do. But it's purely because I believe that their positional play has to be more accurate.
Yeah, cue ball's way more on point.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, in the game of pool, you're looking for the centre of the table most of the times, right? Or more
Correct.
often than not.
Yeah, but you're also playing multiple. You're also playing multiple ball shape, unless it's obviously for one of the colours. But I do think that gives you some leniency, and it's the same for kind of for one pocket and straight ball, 8 ball, etc. Nine
Nice,
ball and 10 ball are uniquely difficult because you're playing single ball shape all the time.
nice little one rail kick there by Mario, but he left Dom a little tough here on this 3 ball. We got to tell these guys not to stand at the head of the table too. Don't they realize we got people watching this thing?
Or a little bit softer, and that was perfect. She only had to just nudge it by that 5. The line was great.
I think someone's told Alex to stay away from the camera. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Kate. The tighter, the better. That's what I reckon as well.
I don't know, Mark. I told this story a couple weeks ago. Greensboro, North Carolina had a pool room. I went down there with Mike Davis probably a decade ago, and they had a big tournament coming up, and they had a table in the front. It was an AMF table, and I want to say that the pockets were like, I don't know, 3 something. Definitely sub 4-inch pockets. Man, that table was brutal. It literally the hardest table I've ever played on, I think. And it's like at some point it stops being the same game because people get very defensive. It's you have a shot that you would take on every other table in the country, and yet this table was so tight that you're just going to play a safe. And to me, it just kind of takes away a little bit from the game. I think there needs to be, yes, I'm good with tighter equipment for better players to a point.
Yeah, I think minimum should. You definitely should never go any smaller than 4 inch. And I'm talking about, like for example, the Masters is a very specific event. It's almost like the golf, the Masters is always played on really super tough courses where they move the pins to, you know, really difficult positions, super fast greens. I believe for something like the Masters, you should have 4 inch pockets. If you want to be the master of something, then be the master. That's just my opinion. But I think four and a quarter as an average for rotation is a good size in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the better analogy there, Mark, might be the U.S. Open, because the U.S. Open, they play on different courses and they let the grass grow longer. They do all kinds of things like that. The Masters is always played in Augusta, but you're right, they do have tough conditions, fast greens. But I equate pool a lot of times with that golf analogy because people are like, I don't want to play on this table. This table plays one way, this table plays another. And I say, look, you got to treat it like golf, right? Part of being a good pool player is observing the table and seeing those differences and applying that. Some of the best pool players, I think, are the ones that can see how the table's playing right away. And I was always amazed by those guys when I would meet them, right? They'd come off a table and I'd be like, how's the table playing? And I'd expect them to just say, oh, it's playing great or it's not playing so great. And they're like, well, that bottom left pocket, if you hit it slow to that pocket, it's going to do this. And the bottom right pocket does that. And it rolls a little bit this way. Those folks that are really observant and can make quick adjustments, I think, tend to have a lot of success in pool.
Yeah, you'll see
Yeah.
the difference at tournaments as well when you kind of get to observe the pros. You'll watch the ones that are, like you say, they're more adept at converting to the conditions quicker. They won't roll the balls out and try and run a rack as their practice rack. You'll see them rolling the cue ball and seeing which rails are bouncing different. Which is there a roll on the table? How can I adapt my style to win this match?
Yeah.
Rather than complaining about the table, which we all hear on a regular basis.
Like bad beat stories in poker. Here.
Oh yeah, you have to learn to adapt. It's one of the biggest things. You know, I did have a quick story about Jason Shaw one time. I saw playing on a 3.6 inch pocket. It must have been 3.6, if that, maybe 3.5 actually. And this was down in like South Carolina somewhere, which is North Carolina, in Charlotte. And he walked into this place, and we were lucky enough just to be kind of traveling around after the U.S. Open back in 2012. And he rolled 10 balls out onto this table, and you could barely fit a ball in there. And he ran a 6-pack. This was the very early days of Jason.
Wow.
And since then, I've just been in awe of the guy. To be able to run like a 6-pack on a 3.5 inch table and that's with the break. That was without ball in. He wasn't having ball in hand. I've never seen anything like it. And of course, we got no action after that. I think he was just trying to he was just trying to announce himself at that time.
He's a special person, isn't he, Jason? Special talent. Made lots of centuries at snooker as well, of course. So he's multi-talented at many cue sports.
Oh, indeed, it's just it's brutal.
That was I just missed that. Kazakis and them won that one, right?
We did.
Yeah.
Nice run out. Getting caught on stories. My apologies, Joey. You bring out the stories in me.
No worries. I somehow managed to dig up a picture here of you playing on a bar box, Del.
That was at the Dynasty's Cup. I thought I couldn't reach that one, so I had to put my leg up.
Yeah, it was
But you'll see, I'm nearly 7 foot tall myself, so I never had to use the rest.
It looks like you're auditioning for Dance with the Stars, Del.
That's too funny. Thank you. I think we're getting a lot of feedback there, Joey, that they think they should be tighter for the pro standard. But if that's the case, the amateur game should tighten up as well, because how do you make the transition then?
Good point. Alex quite a way away with that one.
A little bit lackadaisical, I think. That's going to lose them this rack if Dominick can just draw this back to the line where the cue ball is now. I think they got a great shot.
Oh.
He seesawed into it, mate. Do you see that?
Yeah, lots of movement, lots of back arm movement, wasn't there? Elbow up and down. Jennifer looks very. She seems to have a really nice technique. Stands back from the shot nicely, steps into it.
I hear Catchy's been giving us some private lessons, but I don't think Don knows about that, so we'll keep it off the stream. I'm on mute, right?
That picture is everything. She's making eyes with Kachi, which, by the way, talking about the tight tables and where's this cue ball going? He's okay. Clenti Kachi came out to an event that we had at Freezers back when it was still Freezers, and there was a pit table with 4 1/8 inch pockets, and that sucker played tight, real tight. And I want to say that he broke and ran 8 racks of 10 ball and won 8-0 against, I think it was Patty Lyon. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but played absolutely perfect on that table. I mean, you have to be in dead punch, and he really played great.
I have to admit, I've had the pleasure of playing Catchy, and I've never felt so intimidated. I'm a big guy. I don't scare easily, but he's so intimidating to play at the table because he won't talk to you. He basically stares at you, and when he's at the table, he's got such a commanding presence. I think that's something you have to overcome as an opposing player almost.
Yeah, I'd call him the bully, Dale, because he's fierce at the table. He's looking at you all the time, staring you down, and he's as you say, a huge fella as well. Never speaks.
That's what I'm saying. He uses that presence, that body language is huge. Because when you're in that one-on-one situation, you kind of lose a little bit of confidence. You're like, oh man, guys, it's going to destroy me on and off the table.
Nice finish there.
Alex and Jennifer drawing a game closer here. I believe this is only a race to 7, so they are knocking on the door here. This is a big game. Dom and Mario have to hold serve here.
I'll say I think their chemistry is a lot better, and that's a lot to say about Scotch doubles as well.
Yeah, I think especially when there's scenarios where Alex isn't overcoaching her. Mm-hmm. I think where we've seen them stumble a few times is where Alex, took a little too much time overcoaching her, and then, it's going to get her out of her rhythm and not playing the way she typically would play.
I have to agree with that.
I wonder what Eklund Catchy is like as a doubles partner.
You just don't disappoint him. Basically, is the key message, I think.
Just don't miss.
You will lose.
Yeah, you do as I tell you.
I still miss the fact that he should definitely have been called Drago. That should have been his pool nickname. I know he's got a great one already, but
Drago.
I'm just a big Rocky IV fan, and
Oh, tell me about
if
it.
he had blonde hair and like he styled it a bit, he would be the spin image of Drago.
I must break you.
There's a player called Mickey Krause who actually looks a little bit like Drago as well. Have you seen him, Dale?
I'd say Mickey. Yeah,
The Danish guy.
he's tiny.
Yeah. He's not as big as Drago, of course.
Well, Mario hit that ball really bad. Missed it by a few inches. Ends up two-railing it in the side, but now Dom's hooked. Looks like he's got the short stick here. He's going for the highlight reel. Maybe has to jump 2 balls here. Let's see. Looks like a hand shoe.
Mario was so far out with that pot, it wouldn't have gone in on 10-inch pockets. So, got away with one now. This does. Well, it's a tough shot, I know, but I like playing this Dale in the left-hand corner, swinging the cue ball round.
You like playing this one? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's the right shot, mate, because you're getting
Yeah.
separation.
Yeah.
If you miss it, you'll get safe.
Mark, you got that cat attacking you again tonight?
No, I just actually stepped on my mic lead. I haven't got my earbuds in. I'm using a headphones with a cable, and I've got my leg in the wrong position,
Oh,
and I pulled it out of my ear. Sorry about that. That was funny last night. Wow, the cat.
I don't know where Melina Mike is tonight. Have to give him a hard time for not being here.
I think he might be on another podcast.
Everyone needs a dumb breakdown again.
Yeah, can't really question his dedication.
God, no. I like the flooring in there, by the way. Looks a nice place, doesn't it? Have you been there, Dale, to Rax?
Yeah, me, and that's where I first met Dom, actually. And he barked at me for 100 a game, so that was good fun.
Really?
How many hundred did you win?
I think we went
nice
back and
bank.
forth. I got the first 2, and then he got 1 back. And then Jen said it's time to leave.
Oh, man, you missed a golden opportunity there, Dell.
Oh, yeah, my cash cow. I thought my cash cow had arrived.
Could have been your retirement fund.
Oh, I'll playing for 100 a game by that. The looks of that last shot.
I think we actually played on this table.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if it's the one I'm thinking of correctly, it's got a great mounting point for the camera there, just on the side rail. They got a great bar. On the other side of the venue, they've got 7-foots as well. So it's split right down the middle by the bar and the seating area, and then you've got all the 9-foots on one side, all the 7s on the other.
I think Dom could benefit a little by just slowing down. Just a little bit. A little quick getting down the whole process. Sees the shot, gets down on the shot quick, shoots quick, and just making a few errors there. I think if he just slowed it down just a little bit.
Normally a sign of nerves. Maybe he's just a little bit nervous.
Nice shot there by Alex.
Yeah, this is a big swing, especially this rack. I mean, if Alex and Jem win, they're on the hill. That's a tough one to fade then from there.
It's a big shot here.
Oh, nearly.
I knew that was kind of missable because if she cuts it to make it, she's going to roll a little further up table, and It's one of those where you try to hold it. Definitely.
Yeah, you don't play the pot. You don't play the potting angle. You play the positional angle, and it showed there she missed it, right?
Yeah.
You notice Mario is not talking to Dom a lot. They're just kind of just saying, "Look, let's just play both our own shots."
It's probably why they're losing.
Do you ever find, Joey, if you're the stronger of the pairing, do you ever try and get too perfect sometimes like that?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. That's
Oh,
that's it's a big thing, and that's one of the reasons I like Scotch, especially like out here they have in Arizona they have a lot of those tournaments where it's a certain amount and under 1,200 and under something like that. And the cool part about those is I always have to match up with one of the weaker players in the tournament. And they're tickled because they get to match up with one of the better players in the tournament. But it's really hard to win, right? A 700 and a 500 against two 600s. It's tough because I'm not going to play that much better than both 600s to make up for it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I find that is the interesting dynamic is trying to play my game, but also set them up to, leverage their skill set. Some of them might be better at, longer shots or, better at shots where they can run the cue ball and, trying to observe that and figure that out is really a key to doing well in those tournaments. Look at the 1-9 here.
ooh, you dressed up. And it goes off
We
for
could have
two
a
as
tie
well.
ball game. We could have a
Yeah,
tie
and
ball
it's
game.
Mario as well. I think it's not unmissable, but it's a 99 out of 100. I think. Yeah.
Wow, what a swing!
All of a sudden,
One missed six ball, and it's gone from a potential 6-3 to a 5-5 in a matter of minutes.
All right, everybody who's in here right now in the chat, 149 of you across the platforms. Let's hear it. Who's going to win this match? It's a race to two from here.
yeah. Now they've got the break to go on the hill. It's swung completely. What an amazing game this is. This is why we love it. Just as you think it's.
Dom's got more patches on him than Shane Van Boning.
Mark, I'll have a beer with you that Mario and Dom win this rack.
I'm not a betting man, but I'll definitely buy you a beer when I see you. It's part of my bucket list anyway, Dale. So I've always wanted to have a drink with you. So
If you're
I'll
in New
bet
York,
you a beer. I'm not afraid to bet. I got some gamble in me, Dell. Let's
there we
go.
go. I almost thought you made the 9 on the snap there.
What do you drink? Miller Lite or Coors Light?
Anything without light in the sentence, pretty much.
unless it's white lightning, Dale. Do you remember that?
Oh Christ, yeah, yeah. That was a choice drink. Was it cider or was it
Cider,
like
yeah. Cider.
percentage cider? Oof.
K cider. Diamond white. There was all sorts out then, back then.
Showing your age now, Mark.
Yeah.
Diamond white.
I'm
She-
older than you.
She ends up safe there, but not where she intended. She was trying to stun the cue ball over, and then behind the six, she ends up kind of tree topping Dom on the six, and then the one ball ends up behind the three ball. So it's going to be a tough hit here.
Did I ever tell you that Earl Strickland actually watches amateurs play so that he learns new shots? Because even though she got that wrong, it turned into a fantastic safety.
Yeah.
Because he
You know
does.
what
He's
I
trying to
heard-
incorporate that in his game. Crazy.
I heard the same thing about Efren. That one time he was asked, like, how do you come up with all these creative shots? And that he said, just being in the pool room, watching amateurs and seeing the way the balls react, you're going to see things that you don't see from pros, right? And so you'll learn something, you'll pick something up. And it made me think about the shots where he used to hit it off the point or timing shots, things like that. I mean, you see those flukes happen sometimes. You don't see many people attempt them. And when Efren was doing his farewell tour, he was doing some of those shots, some neat little timing shots and things like that. It was cool to watch.
Yeah, and especially when you get these amateurs missing by big distances, that it as you said, Dale, it it gives you new ideas for new shots. Oh, if I play it 6 inches away from the pocket, I'm going to get it round there, and so it's an interesting point. I love Earl. I wish he would play more.
He does play a bit. You just got to catch him on the right day. He'll always be my icon. He's my favourite player of all time.
Yeah, he's mine too.
Eight ball.
Ooh, that is
He's
a
okay.
No, I'm just gonna have to go rail first, I think, Mark.
Really?
Yeah. I got my eyeglasses on.
I need my binoculars.
It's funny, Del, if you're ever listening to the Booth Brothers or us commentating like this, and you hear all of a sudden you hear Mark talking, and then all of a sudden he goes, rah, 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 rah. You know that he had to lean up close to get a good look at the screen.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
it was touching. That's a foul.
I'm starting to get in commentator stroke.
yeah, it's a foul. Yeah.
We call that a cheeky tickle back home, mate. If as a cheeky tickle.
I'm gonna have to adopt that one. Jeremy thinks he's doing something talking about screwing the cue ball. If I call something a cheeky tickle, that's gonna be great.
But them all saying it in New York.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Big pocket here. He almost found a way to miss it, but he definitely is his partner. Poor Mario.
Mario's up against it, isn't he? He certainly drew the short straw.
If in doubt, give it a clout.
Yeah, we have Huckleberry in here from YouTube says, while y'all watch pool, I'm playing every day, all day. Well, I'm jealous, buddy.
It kind of appears like he's watching the stream if he's commentating.
You know, it's actually been probably a month since I've hit balls. I went to Vegas for the CSI event to kind of cover it, but I didn't even bring my cues. And it's been a while since I've hit balls, but you know, it's funny when I take a couple months off and then I go back and start playing again, it's almost like I play a little better at first. Like I forgot my bad habits and I come back refreshed, hungry, really wanting to win.
I'm a huge advocate of that type of strategy, mate. But I will say, no more than 2 months. 2 months and you start to get skill fade.
Yeah, it's like fasting, you know? You can do like a 12-hour fast. Any more than that, it's just, it hurts you.
It does.
Is he playing the 9 here?
It has to.
Yes.
Has to.
Oh, yeah.
Has to. And he made the 6. Ooh.
All right.
I lost the
David
grip.
owes me a beer.
Damn it. I thought they were going to push on and get the hill there. They had the momentum.
We'll give you a chance to win it back. By the end of the night, Del, somebody's going to owe somebody a 12-pack.
Who have you got, mate? I'll send. You can send light beer in the post, right?
All right, they're on the hill. Kazakis and Berzinski trying to take it home, win this challenge match.
I think she's using the open bridge there. You notice that? She's breaking off the open palm bridge. Open.
Maybe
Okay.
8.
Got the 8 in the side and shape on the 1.
I think Dominick's going to be doing the dishes for the next month.
I think on the table just to the left might be that 1 pocket matchup. So before this match, they were actually streaming that table. And I'm not sure the guy, I think it might be a guy named Pedro, but playing Denis. And I want to say they were betting 400 a game. So that's kind of interesting.
Denis Grabe plays 1 pocket.
Tonight he does.
But now he
Wow.
does. You got to pick up when you're on the road at his level. You got to pick up every single game you can, whether you're giving away big weight or not. Because you're not going to be able to play a killer every time.
Yeah, I was listening to Joey's podcast with Jeremy Jones the other day, and he was telling some great stories of being on the road and gambling, and I kind of great times, weren't they?
I really enjoyed it as well, and I like what he said about if he was going to create a team that he'd bring some lower level players that also do well under pressure. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
I didn't expect that answer. Every once in a while I'll ask something. When I kind of formulate the questions, 90% of them I kind of have a feeling how they're going to answer it. He really surprised me with a couple of his answers.
very down to earth chap, and you can tell he's been through it and experienced almost everything the game's got to offer. Nate, you are correct. I do like the cloudy beers, the hazies, the IPAs, the non-lights.
There's a brewery near us with bar attached, of course, called TBBC, Tampa Bay Brewing Company, and they have about 50 taps still on the wall with all these different beers, like all different flavors, and lemon meringue beer and fruit beer, and incredible.
Yeah, it was very difficult for me to leave that place.
Were you here? Did you used to live here then?
No, I've been to Tampa. I've been through Tampa many times. Played
Oh,
the US
okay.
Amateurs last year.
Yeah, nice little city, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's great. Great town.
Yeah.
So, Mark, how are you enjoying your adventures in the United States? Was it everything you thought it would be?
I was hoping that I'd be playing more pool. Um, where I am, we were a little bit away. We went and played or we tried to play at Strokers actually, but there was Andrew Cleary took us to Strokers, but there was a junior tournament going on at the time, so we didn't get to play there. I really wanted to play there, but yeah, there's a couple of little places where we've been. Trevor and I, you know Trevor well, dealt. We've been playing a lot of bar box together, and
Terrible bloke. Terrible bloke.
yeah, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, right?
Oh yeah, he knows it as well. I'm sad he left New York, but glad he's doing well in Florida.
I
We've
think
seen a mistake, mate. We've seen a mistake. This could be the hill chance, and then we'll share.
Hey, Ian, how's it going? Yeah, so apparently Ian tells us Pedro's a room owner, straight shooter. That's cool.
I love it when we get all these comments of people, and you never know what you're going to get, do you? Some really interesting things come out of it.
One of the coolest things is when we just ask people, where are you coming in from? Where are you guys? I love seeing that. When we were out in Vegas doing the CSI events, and we were asking people, we were getting people from all over Asia, all over like Australia, New Zealand. We kept having. Remember, Mark? We kept having those people bugging us about who was that player from New Zealand? Um,
Sullivan Clark.
yeah, Sullivan Clark. They're like, can you please stream his match? Please, please. Eventually, we never did stream one of his matches in Vegas. I think we did one of his matches somewhere else.
Yeah,
But
we went one better than that though, because we actually got him in the booth, didn't we, and had a nice chat with him.
yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Oh,
And
sorry.
great young man. He was a lot of fun and seemed like he was very mature, and excited about getting better with pool.
I actually spoke to him the other day, and about 3 days ago, and we were talking about Dominick,
Oh man.
Dominick Dogski.
Oh no.
Oh,
I think he saw the winning line, and Alex now just going to bank this one.
I'm gonna bet he hangs it.
Oh, Joey,
oh,
Joey.
My work here is done. See you later, boys.
Joey Ryan out.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just had a feeling. Sometimes you get a feeling.
That might be the best call I've ever seen. I mean, way to dog him there. I mean, we talk about the commentators curse a lot, but I didn't know you could actually tell them they're not going to go in.
And just
Sometimes when you need it.
look who's just come in the chat, Dale.
Who's this?
Mr. Trevor Hill. He said it was the US national qualifiers.
Ah, right. So they're doing that again already for the next one. I like strokers, but I truly believe the the APA US amateurs needs to move to either a private venue or do what Predator have done to it, like an arena or matchroom arena style, because you go in there and there's three different table types, three different ball sets, and I get it. You're at the APA, and, amateurs, but it's a national event. It's a prestigious event. You shouldn't have to worry about going from table to table. Diamond, Brunswick, and what's the other table they've got in there, Joey?
I don't recall. I played there like 2 or 3 times. A couple Tony Crosby events. I don't recall, but it's funny when you were saying that, Dell, because I played in a Tony Crosby event in Daytona. I used to live in Jacksonville, and went and played in this event, and the room was about half 8-footers, and the other half, well, about 5 or 6 9-footers. And I'm like, I wonder if they're going to play on the 8-footers or the 9-footers, and the answer was yes. They're going to play on the 8-footers and the 9-footers, and so you could literally get called up for a match, and you're on a 9-footer, and the next match you're on an 8-footer. And I've never played in a tournament like that. It was really interesting. So they had an amateur on Saturday, and I got fortunate and won that. And then on Sunday, I lost to a guy from Arizona in Daytona Beach, Chris Lolick, and him and I have been friends now for 15 years after that. And it's so cool that we live in the same town now.
That's a great story. Awesome. There's Olhazen. Sorry, Trevor corrected me. There's 3 tables in there. A diamond, which is tight, and then they have the Brunswicks, which are huge, and then the Olhazens, which are just drop pockets. They're even bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Is that my buddy Tom Staveley? We've got someone in from London, mate.
Tom.
Sponsored by Jacoby. Shouldn't you be in bed, mate?
Tell your friends, Tom.
Hill. He just tuned in for the Hill. That was it.
Well, there's 2 more matches, guys, so don't go anywhere. We're going to keep this thing rolling, I believe. And the next match, I think, is Alex Kazakis versus Denis Grabe, unless Denis is not done playing one pocket. He's playing the room owner there, from what I understand. So we might end up kind of leapfrogging that match and going with Mario He versus Oliver Szolnoki. So a lot of good pool left to be played, so hang tight.
This is the key shot here to get nicely on this 6. Oh, she's done it. That'll work. This is what we were talking about earlier, Joey. Do you play the more difficult positional shot to try and get her easier on the 7, or do you just drop this in and leave her long?
Nah, you gotta just follow here and get up for the side, I would think. Just that point looks so big on this shot, though.
It does.
It's like an inch hanging.
Oh. You see there, your speed control is a little out, but leaving her long, this is a different shot now.
Yeah, if you're Jennifer, you just cinch this, make sure you make it, leave Alex right where the 7 is right now, and he'll be fine. Don't try to do too much.
Yeah, don't try and do too much with it, mate. Dominick would have cut that in the side, gone 5 rails around for the 8 straight in.
And scratched.
Oh, boy.
There's some pressure on this. Alex taking his time. Ooh, how'd you like this?
I was just about to say, Dale, it's as soon as it went hill, the whole complexion of the game changed completely. All of a sudden, right, we're going to win this. We can win this. Yes. Oh, look how pleased she is. Brilliant.
And that's it.
Dominick. I think we might get Dominick live now.
Yeah, see if we get some reaction from the players.
Yeah. Come on, Dominic. Let's get the players on.
Night, Tom. Have a good night, mate.
So I'm messaging with Dom now, and everybody's hungry, but I'm going to tell them to make them eat in shifts. That way we can keep things rolling. Boom.
Mario Oliver next.
Okay, let me adjust the scoreboard.
By the size of that steak that who had that huge steak the other day? It was
It was
massive.
Alex. It was Alex, wasn't it?
Well, he won't need to eat for a week, I wouldn't have thought.
And apparently Denis was a little on tilt because Alex agreed to share that steak with Mario, and Denis wanted some of it. That was the word around town.
Perhaps that was the start of the the squabbling last night.
All right. Did I spell Szolnoki correctly, Mark? Oh,
You did. You did. Perfect.
Great.
Well done.
I'm really good at spelling Mario he.
That was so nice, actually, last night. Oliver was surprised that his sister was watching, really pleased his sister. That was kind of a nice moment,
Yeah, that was neat.
like little things like that.
I was very impressed with him in talking to him last night, Mark. You know, I'm always thinking about, like, not just what we're going to ask them when we get them on the mic, but what I would ask them if I had them on the podcast and was able to interview them. And I was just really impressed with Oliver. He's definitely going to be somebody I'm going to target to have on the podcast and kind of get his whole life story and, you know, find out more about him.
Yeah, he speaks so well.
He does.
Also, you know, he's got an old head on him. I'm not sure how old he is exactly. I think he's about 23. Is he something like that?
Yeah, I would say. But, you know, it's funny how, you know, it seems like all the Europeans, you know, they speak really, really well English. They speak good English. And here we are in the United States. Hardly anybody speaks anything else. You know, if we had to go to some European country and speak, the only place we'd be okay is England. And then even there, we'd sound funny.
Yeah, I mean most European countries now speak English. I mean, it is kind of the
Hey, we got Tony from Nova Scotia. Check it out, Nova Scotia.
hey. Oh, look, my friend Sean Armand from Vietnam. I've actually played Sean in Vietnam.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're just coming out of lockdown for about 3 months or something like that. I think it's been. I know there was a little bit of a let up at some stage, but I believe they just come out yesterday. Did the ball just bounce off of that rail? I think it did, you know.
Well, that lag was not very competitive. Mario's going to get the opening break here. They've been doing only alternate break. Let's see if they're racking the 9 on the spot. Is that what they were doing in that first match, Mark? I didn't
No,
really.
I think it's 1 on the spot with the wooden rack rather than 9 on the spot with the template tonight. I'm pretty sure that's what they're
Getting a lot of variety here. Last night they were doing the alternate break 9 on the spot. Tonight they're doing the 1 on the spot with the wood rack. Pretty cool.
mixing it up. You're welcome, Tony. Lovely to have you with us.
Is there a lot of good pool up there in Nova Scotia? I'm always curious about that, Mark. We talked about that. That's why on the Booth Brothers we feature pool rooms in different places throughout the country and hopefully the world one day. Just, I always have this curiosity about what it's like to play pool. Like I asked Fedor when I had him on the podcast, I was like, well, what is it like playing pool in Russia? You know, he's just like, there's not very many people that play it. They play the Russian pyramid game quite a bit.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people play pool. So there's like, I guess, one room that him and Christina play out of in Moscow. and it seems to be the club that most people who play pool there frequent.
Yeah, and it's a very nice one as well. All diamonds in there, nice quality. He does play a very good game of pyramid, as we know. He's very good at banks. He's very good at getting very good at one pocket. I haven't seen his 14-1, but I'm sure he's pretty good at that as well.
Yeah, that guy's pretty good at anything he does involving a pool table. He had the 3 second place finishes in South Carolina, which was pretty nuts. Kind of nuts that he didn't win one, but also, the fact that he was able to finish so high in 3 different disciplines is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and also we know that there was many different disciplines going on at the same time. So I believe he actually played 3 different disciplines in one day over a 12-hour period. And to keep switching between formats, different games, just shows the talent of the guy. So we're just waiting for Oliver Szolnoki, the newly crowned Diamond Bar Box 9-ball winner. And his first time, Joey, you said, right? Joey's dipped out.
Say that again, Mark? Sorry.
I was just telling the story about Oliver winning the 9-ball bar box.
Oh, yeah. First time ever playing on a bar box. It's nuts. He looked at that bar box and he said, well, it has 6 pockets on it, so let me just go handle some business.
And we've got Del Sim back with us from New York. Hi, Del.
Buddy, stepped out for a second, refilled a glass of water. Or beer, as you might call it.
Take a break there.
Oh, you're drinking Bud Light, are you?
Look at this. Oh, he's having a little slap around. All right. Practice rack.
Yeah, I think Oliver's gone off to get some food or something.
Oh, they brought a template. Maybe they are going to do 9 on a spot now.
Good.
Just remind me, Joe, he's from Hungary, right? Szolnoki?
Yeah, it's the country is called Hungary. Unlike what I wrote up yesterday when I was advertising this, I said he's from Hungaria. And the worst part, Del, is that I have a degree in geography, so I don't even know how I did that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I guess I was confused with Bulgaria and Hungary.
From Hungary.
Beautiful country as well. Beautiful country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily enough, I went for a bachelor party, should we call it a stag do from where we are, but I had an amazing time in Budapest. Great party town. Quite close
certainly
to
bigger. Sorry, mate.
Okay, okay.
No, I was just going to say it's a huge destination where it was. It tends to go in different places. It was Prague, then it was Tallinn in Estonia and Budapest. Bratislava, Amsterdam, of course.
Yeah.
I made a little adjustment there, guys. This is a race to 9 here, not a race to 7.
And it's no longer Scotch double. It's just straight 9-ball, right?
Yep. I tell you, I hope you guys like the video quality here. It looks to me like it's a really good quality here. Just so you guys know, this is Joey Ryan from Pool Player Podcast. I'm joined by Mark White from the Booth Brothers, and we have Del Sim with us as well. We're in 3 different parts of the country. This match is going on in an even different part of the country. And it's kind of amazing what we can do with technology these days, and we're just scratching the surface of it, I think. Oliver breaks those balls, gets the one on the side. Is this the start of the match, guys? What do you think?
I think so. I think that was a pretty menacing break.
Yeah, he's straight in on a 2-ball and ready to start his run. But we have Dominick Dunn from Dunsky's Dungeon set up there at Rax Billiards in, Orlando. And we're catching his feed for the video and audio, and then we're overlaying some score, overlaying our audio, and we're all dialed in from different places throughout the country. So Hope
Well,
you guys
actually,
are having fun.
you could be right, Joey. This could actually be Hungaria, the place we're in right now.
Oh boy, I'm never gonna live that one down. Mark, what do you think of Oliver's form? There's something about it that to me just looks a little different. Um, I can't place it though. I can't kind of put
About his what? Sorry.
about his form, his technique. There's
Oh, his
something.
technique.
Yeah, he looks a little different to me, and I can't place it yet. I haven't really studied it too much, but
He plays with both legs very bent, which I really don't like. But
You know what it is, Joey? It's the head tilt. That's what throws you off because his head is slightly tilted, and you'll notice that he doesn't use the kind of Niels Fine technique. So he looks like Niels Fine, but he's actually just tilting his head.
yeah,
You'll
it's
see it
probably
more. You see it more with more head on, but I agree with you. He's got a very unique style.
what a beautiful shot he hit there, though.
I'm sure you've seen this many times, Dale. Have you seen the impression that Alex does of Szolnoki?
I have, yeah. He's like a robot.
It's so hilarious.
You have video of that, Mark? I haven't seen that.
No, but I am going to video it next week.
Oh,
Oh dear.
first mistake. All right, 6-pack on this one, Joey. I'll take Mario.
Okay. Guys, I want to give a shout out to a few people who've donated. Ian Sitchin, thank you for your donation. Alyssa Van Dalen, thank you very much. Chad Cossier, thank you for your donation. Appreciate it, guys. All the money goes to the players. We're kind of dedicating our time here just to help them out a little. They've been in the country for a few months, and I think they have another month left, probably finishing up with the International in Norfolk, Virginia, I think at the end of this month. So anything you guys can do to donate, the information's down there at the bottom, and Dom will make sure it gets to the players.
Yeah, so they're playing one on the spot. So guaranteed to make the wing ball. What did I say? Not guaranteed to make the wing ball.
So according to Fargo rate, Mario Heat checks in as a 803 Fargo, and Szolnoki is a 785 Fargo. So quick shout out to Wanda. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate you. Which once you look at the Fargo rates, if you take the hot race, it would be a 9 to 8 race. If you take the medium and anything above medium or below medium and mild, they'd be 9-9 races. So pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, he certainly burst onto the scene, Szolnoki. Did he finish? He got top 4 in the worlds when it was back in UAE, right?
Yeah, in the
The 9-ball.
yeah, that was at the. Was that not in the UK? I know he finished at the World Pool Championships.
Sorry, it was the UK. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, at Milton Keynes. I was actually there, Dell. He lost to Omar Al Shaheen. He was actually 6-0 up in the
Yeah.
semi-final and lost to Omar. And Omar went on to get beat by Albin, of course.
I think he was one of the highest climbers in the Fargo ratings after that. I think he went up something like 25 spots.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, so using the Fargo rate odds, Mario would be a 60% favorite, 60.3% favorite in this race to 9. So Dell, of course, takes the favorite. It's okay.
Well, you know, mate. You know, I've just got. I'm using Fargo. I've got to play the math, haven't I?
You know, I got reports here in the chat that Mario won the first game, and we thought that that wasn't actually the first game, and he moved his coin, so it's 1-1. What do you guys think about that?
Coins are a great indicator. Coins are the best. I love coins.
I'll ask Dominic.
I think it could be 1-1. Yeah, could definitely be 1-1.
Yeah, I see. After we already bet the beer, I changed it to not recognizing that first game.
Yeah, everyone in the chat is saying it's 1-1. So
Thought you were stealing, mate, didn't you? I don't miss a thing.
The old double coin move or no coin move.
The double coin gets me every time.
You ever been in the match and somebody who you're playing and you're keeping track of score pretty good, and they tell you they forgot to move their coin?
Yeah, yeah. I think it should be the ownership should definitely be on the other player. I had it with Christina to catch once. She ran like a 3-pack on me, and I think I was up. I was up like 6-4, and that was to make it like 7. I'd have been 7-6 down. I said it's not my job to remind you, and then I said no, just kidding, and then I told her it was 7-6. She hadn't moved her coin. She hadn't moved her coin for 3 racks, you know. So,
Oh wow.
but I couldn't be that type of sportsman, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's me too. In fact, whenever we do team events, I'm never the team captain because I can't be like the hard ass to call the rules on somebody. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
we were at the BCA Platinums and we were in the third, fourth place match. And my buddy Chisholm Woodson from Colorado was our team captain. And thank goodness he was because I would have just not even worried about this. But the other team had 6 players and you're only supposed to have 5, right? So at the beginning of the match, Chisholm tells him, look, if you're going to play with 6 players, just make sure you don't match up the same player against, the same player later on because you'll lose that game. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, we got it. So sure enough, we're at a critical juncture in the match. I want to say we're trailing 11-10 or something, and it goes to 13. And my buddy Chris McDaniel gets up to play, and the guy shakes his hand, and Chris walks back to the table and he says, I've already played this guy. And so we're like, guys, he's already played this guy. And the other team's like, oh, okay, we'll change it. And Chisholm's like, well, I think we should just get a ref. I'm not sure, but let's get a ref. And so the ref comes over. Sorry, lost a game. And you wouldn't believe this team was from California. They went crazy on this one. But we end up winning that match, and we made it to the third place match there on the TV. It was big because it was a lot of money, and it took us to the TV table. And all because they didn't follow the rules. And if it were me, I would have been like, all right, go ahead and change it. That's why I can't be a team captain.
I'm the same way, mate. I can't, I just think if it means that much to you.
Joey, we have a question from Garrett Davis. He's asking, are the tickets tonight for a different drawing as last night, or is it the same?
No, I think tomorrow morning, I think the plan is for Dominic to go live and raffle off all the merchandise, all the stuff that he's given away.
So,
And
the
these
answer
tickets
is, yeah, okay, right. Sorry.
Jeez, Mark.
Sorry.
So the answer is same tickets as last night. You'll be entered into the drawing again if you buy more tickets, and we really appreciate it, trying to help these guys out. And if you guys tuned in last night, it was really cool because look at this kid sharking him. You see that? Came running through the screen. But last night, in the middle of, well, kind of right after the match, they were walking around, talking with us, answering questions. It was a whole lot of fun. These guys are having a blast, and they're being really good about it, too. So they appreciate everything you guys can do. Oliver on a roll here. Doesn't want to get straight on this. I think he's got a little bit of angle here. He's not too thrilled, though. Think he can stun this ball, Dell?
I think you can just stun it and force it up towards that second diamond on the right.
Oh, he's going high.
Ooh, cover that. Beautiful.
Yeah, he had a nice smooth stroke there. Opened the ball up nicely.
You got another question in there, mate. So why do they call this sport billiards? Do you know the answer to that one? I believe it's actually from the French. The French term billiard. And that's way back in the 15th century when it actually evolved from croquet in Northern Europe, and probably in France, is what they're saying.
No kidding. They're having some fun in there tonight. Yeah, Mark usually knows those questions.
I allowed Dale to answer that one. He'd said it so much better than I would have done. I was actually going to finish off by saying that that's why the snooker cloth, and indeed on pool tables as well, the cloth began as green to emulate the the grass from the croquet.
Croquet lawn, that's correct.
Yeah, and we actually, before we used the thin end of the cue, we used to use the fat end. It was called a mace, and they used to slide it along the table and push it like a croquet mallet kind of thing until some clever guy turned it round, put a little bit of leather on the end, and it became the cue we know today. But if you look on snooker cues now, they still pay homage to the mace by leaving that little flat bit on the butt of the cue.
Very true, mate. Good recollection. Love a bit of history. I'm a bit of a history buff myself, so I do like to keep up to date with stuff like that.
Yeah, me too, Del. Love it.
Mario had an amazing break here. The balls looked beautiful, and I was even going to comment that if I could break like that, I'd be a world champion. Every time. But he just was a little straight on that one ball and never really got in line the way he needed to, and ended up having to play it safe here. So there's a possibility that Oliver could get control of this table. Not easy. It's not an easy hit here.
Yeah, that side pocket on both sides. I mean, I actually like going behind the 8 instead of attacking the side pocket on the right, just because that pocket there on the side rail to the right is huge.
What's he doing? 2 rails up here?
2 rails into the 6, yeah.
Oh, this worked out. This could be perfect.
Gonna leak out, I think.
I don't want the next shot after Mario here, I don't think.
I think it goes, mate.
Does it go? Does it?
Well, I think you got billiard maybe. Play the 8.
Another option. If it goes clean, he'll definitely take it on.
There he is.
Ooh, he overcut it. That's how much room there was.
Told you it wouldn't go.
Could have got a double-decker bus through there.
Tony Cole says the origin of billiards started as a field game, and the king got so intrigued and hooked, he moved it inside. My dad, he's a decent pool player, has been for a while, kind of getting up in years now, but loved pool and was always like inventing little gadgets for it. And so one day he comes back from like Home Depot or Lowe's or something, and he's got like a truck full of wood. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? He built an outdoor pool table. And we lived in Maryland. Weather's crazy, And so it only lasted probably like 5 years, but he had an outdoor pool table for 5 years.
Wow.
Oh, lovely.
Is it all warped?
Yeah.
Did he get the proper cloth for it, Joey?
Yeah, he had, I probably won Simona's, 860, but He had cloth for it, and the problem was that he didn't. He kind of did it on the cheap, so he didn't get a slate bed. So he had like thick wood, which you guys know it's just not gonna cut it.
Not for very long anyway, if the weather was as bad as you say it was in Maryland.
Yeah, it's just it goes from one extreme to the other, Mark. It's hot and humid in the summer, and then it can get cold and icy in the winter.
Yeah,
That's called a British summer.
indeed it is.
Derek Chan pointed out, how come it says Scotch doubles 9-ball? It doesn't, Derek. What are you talking about? I just changed that. The first match was Scotch doubles.
I tried to
And
give you a hint earlier, Joey, when I said it's now 9-ball, not Scotch doubles. I'm trying to be indirect but direct.
by, we're even going to move this over, I think. Hold on.
Yeah, can we have that 9-ball centered, please? Come on.
We're working on it.
Oh, look at that.
It's like magic.
Alakazam.
Ooh, ooh, it's magic. Yeah, not too good, Tony. Not too good.
Oh,
This ball's going to scratch.
hang it.
Oh, no. Wow.
Safe.
Hey, guys, I just got an update from Dominick. He's got 4 Alex Kazakis signed cue balls that are going to be part of the raffle for folks who donate.
What a shot this is. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Have we got a replay button, Joey? Is that what we're missing here? Because that was
Yes, we are
beautiful.
missing that.
What a shot.
I need to upgrade. Just a replay button.
Did he go the other side, the right side of the lower side of the side pocket there, or did he go above it?
I
I think
missed
he
it.
went just above it. Down.
Went above it, right?
Yeah.
Or did he go below it? Because I didn't think that angle was there, and he seemed to create it.
I think that's why he hit it so hard. I think he sort of straightened it maybe a little bit.
Yeah. Look at that return. Wow.
Oh,
I love watching great safeties when it's, especially a 9-ball. Ooh.
ooh. Oohs and no R's, just oohs.
I wonder if he plays the 9-ball here just because of how the 3's sitting. I wonder if he plays the combo. There we go.
Yeah. There's your answer. It's going to be another quick one. In it goes.
I like the quick ones. So Derek Chan asks you, mate, what cue are you using?
All right, so here's what's in my case. So I have I got on the Synergy about 6-8 months ago, and I had a Revo. I was using that, and the nice cue. I know a lot of people use them, but for some reason, every once in a while, something weird would happen that I couldn't predict, and it might just have been me. I don't know. But like I would hit a ball and expect a certain reaction, and I wouldn't get it. And I was faced with a difficult decision in my life. Either I was doing something wrong, or the cue was. So I elected to believe it was a cue, and I changed for a Synergy. A buddy of mine, Nick DeLeon, is a Q Tech ambassador in Arizona, and let me hit some balls with it, and I just liked the feel of it. And I said, hey, man, I really like this cue. And so I started playing with the 12.5 Synergy, and I won a cue in a raffle last year. Jack Madden custom cue makes a beautiful cue. It's $1,000 cue that I won for I think $30 in tickets that I bought. And so I put that Synergy 3/8 10 pin with the Jack Madden, and I was using that for a long time. And then somebody let me try the, as Mario pushes out here, somebody let me try the new Avid series from Q-Tech, and started playing with that. And in fact, I switched in mid-tournament out in Tucson from my synergy to the Avid cue with the Avid shaft, and I really like it. I just it's got a little more deflection than you get with the synergy, or it feels that way, but it just feels natural to me. It feels really good. So that's what I'm using for my playing cue. I'm using a BK Rush for my break cue and a Steve Lomax uh, jump cue right now, currently in the bag.
Wow, love that story of switching the shaft mid game.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do that, Del. There's you know times where things just aren't going right, and you have to switch something. I knew a guy, pretty good gambler in Maryland, Don Hudgens, and he told me one time that he was playing and he just couldn't get anything going, so he took his shoes off. And once he took his shoes off, he started playing well. It's like that slight adjustment. I don't know.
Do you carry a backup, Joey?
Well, now I do because I have that Avid.
I
So
see. Okay.
yeah.
I didn't have an app. Actually, this is a good story that you'll hear about Alex as well. I was 6-1 down against Hunter Lombardo in the World Pool Series, the 8 ball, and he tried to shake my hand at 6-1, but it was actually a race to 7.
Oh,
So he came over, shake my hand because my tip flew off and I didn't have a backup. So I'm sat there, I'm 6-1 down, and Alex comes over and asks me if I'm all right, and I said, "Have you got a radial pin?" He gave me a radial pin, an IQ Infinity. I came back and won the match 7-6.
oh wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
and then that was my meeting Alex story, and I immediately bought an Infinity off of him. I think about
Yeah.
a minute later after the match.
I bet you Hunter was sick.
Yeah, Hunter wasn't best pleased after that. I think I ended up running something like I think I ran a nice little 3 or 4 pack to get it back to 6-5, and I just knocked the sales out of Hunter from that one. But playing with that new shaft kind of just it was weird. I shouldn't play well with it, but it just fit.
Yeah.
I think your horse is steaming ahead, mate.
Yeah, he's playing good. He really is.
Unbelievable.
I mean, Mario just missed the two ball by about a foot. I don't know what he did, whether he miscued or whatever, but he missed the two ball into this corner by about a foot.
I have a guilty secret to tell you guys as well.
Oh,
I just
Yeah.
bought a new jump cue.
it is. Which one?
Joey will know, and you'll know. It's probably the only Predator product I'll ever buy.
Ah, the new one, yeah?
The new Air Rush.
Wow.
I've used it, so I kind of like I'm in love with it. But it's a guilty secret. I thought I'd just share with you guys.
Well, I would never have guessed that for
For a
obvious
former player,
reasons.
Yeah,
perfect.
there's our buddy Corby Dayhoff in the chat. Hey Corby, how's it going? I'm joined here with Mark White from the Booth Brothers and Del Sim, checking in from New York City, right, Del? Are you in Brooklyn?
I'm in Brooklyn, mate. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Free Delta.
Free Del Tour.
Yeah, let's not make it stick, right? I've had some concerns. I'll give him credit on this one. The Air Rush is phenomenal. I just wish they'd release more of them. They've done another limited release, which is frustrating.
Well, you could do what I do and enter like 15 of Melina Mike's Razes a day and never win one. I win every mini that I ever enter, and then I lose the final. It's terrible.
He's making that wing ball pretty regular. He's got the break wired.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't get dressed up on the one quite how he wanted. How do you play safe from here?
Well, he's
That's the
going to
question.
thin the left side, take the cue ball. Oh, no, he's not.
There you go, mate. Learn
Yeah, I mean,
something.
that'll hold him for a second, but I think there might have been a better shot there somewhere.
Yeah, I would have thinned it. I was like you, Joey. I would have thinned it and got distance.
9 balls in action now, mate. I don't like getting the 1 anywhere near the 9 ever. That's just years of playing handicap pool where the 9's wild. Scarred for life.
You ever play with one of those people playing 9 ball where they're just going to go for the 9 ball pretty much every time? Super opportunistic players. Nice shot.
Call them the Chuck E. Cheese chasers, I call them.
We had a guy. I was living in Westminster, Maryland. We had a guy named Larry Stefan. We called him the Stefanator. And so what he would do, it was the sickest thing ever because he'd see like a 1-9 combo and he'd hit it 8,000 miles per hour. It would go around the table 15 times, find a pocket, and then you're like, this guy is such a luck box. He'd do it again. But then the worst part about it is then he'd break and run 3. And you're like, that shouldn't be allowed. Like to be able to break and run 3 and also be a luck box like that, that's just terrible.
Well, Mario could be ending just 1 behind here. 4-1 behind he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think I like pocketing this ball and coming down here to this rail and coming 2 rails like that. No, he didn't really get a lot of English on it. Looks like he was playing it for this bottom right corner here.
That is the 4 ball. I thought it was the 8 for a second. Sorry.
Yeah, I like kind of swinging that with some English and coming around the 2 rails there and shooting the 4 in the left pocket.
Yeah, I prefer that shot too.
I think Mario's a little bit out of stroke tonight. Well, there you go again. He's missing several tonight. Just hasn't quite got that silky smooth stroke of the panda that he normally has.
Still upset that he paid for breakfast and gas, I think.
Well, rumor has it there's some money on the line in some of these matches. Let me see if I can get some info.
We need a live update from Dominick.
He's not dialing in tonight. What's he doing?
Can he make this one, do you think? Can he see the potting angle?
Oh, curveball here. The old number 2.
Oh, a bit slow.
Oh dear.
That's a tough one to judge.
I feel like the bank players would have taken the 3 rail there.
That would have been interesting to see.
3 railed it into the side pocket, right?
Yeah.
Even if you miss it, you're creating a separation and you'd still be on the 5.
Yeah, and if you hit it with good pace, it could get down there behind that 9 ball too, Dell, if you miss.
Yeah, definitely. I actually learn a lot. I don't play banks myself, but I learn a lot watching the bank pool. I particularly enjoyed the last one that just happened in Carolina.
Yeah. You're right. You see things, these guys who are good at bank pool and play a lot of the different, like especially the ones that are bet by the rail, they got to get real creative on some of these shots because they're going to make more money if they can make a 3-4 railer.
I'm telling you, after watching Justin Hall, I think he should be a contender for the Mosconi Cup if he had any motivation to play the game. What a talent he is.
Yeah, I was interviewing Oscar Dominguez, and Oscar was talking about when he was a junior player, that the class of players that were coming out at that time were just phenomenal, and Justin Hall was in that group. And he talked about just how great of a talent Justin Hall was back in that day when, they were all 18, 19, 20 years old.
Still is. The guy's
he's a phenomenal player.
Phenomenal. You play the 2-way here, bank the 9 and go for the 9.
It's not bad.
Just thinking on that Mosconi, I know it's on the tip of everyone's tongue, but who do you think the final 3 will be for the US? We already know 2, obviously, but
I think Chris is in there for sure.
You think Reinhold's in there?
Yeah, for sure.
You just think because of his work ethic, he hasn't had the best year, right?
Well, he hasn't had the best year results-wise, but process-wise, he's doing well. And remember, he just moved to Texas not long ago. So I know the day I interviewed Jeremy, the day before, Chris was over his house. He's it's like if you're a coach, what do you want out of your players? Somebody who's coachable.
and dedicated.
You know?
Yeah,
I'd take somebody who's good and coachable over somebody who's great any day. And not saying that Chris is just good. I mean, he's an exceptional player, and he was probably their most consistent player last year, which means something. So I think he's definitely in. Um,
I'd have to agree with you just purely on the basis of I think it would do more detriment than good to leave him out this year. I think to give him another opportunity would breed some consistency. Otherwise, what you trying to build, with that young talent.
yeah, and there was definitely over the last several years, there's been kind of this push, I think, with the U.S. team. Nice little shot here to think not just 1 year at a time, right? Developing Tyler Steyer, then developing Chris Reinhold. I think they're thinking long term, and that they need to, think about the next 5 or 10 years. Tyler, it's kind of tough because he seems to be slumping right now, kind of at the wrong time. Not really getting the results, and just doesn't seem to be that comfortable. We were talking about that on the Booth Brothers yesterday. It's just, I love the guy. Incredible talent, incredible work ethic. But he's in love. You know what that does to a pool player.
Yeah, you lose a ball or two. Ask
At
Darren
least.
Apple. Have a baby, you lose a ball. Get married, lose a ball.
I don't.
Even
I don't
Jason went through it too. Jason went through that slump. His own business, his kids, you can't do it all. Unfortunately, there's only so much you can take as a capacity.
I,
I've lost a lot of balls, Dell. I'm almost out of balls.
I honestly have a different opinion on the Tyler Steyer situation. I think, I mean, there's no one with a better work ethic. We all know that. He's fundamentally great. I think he's got the right attitude to be a winner. I just think if you included him in the Moscone, then that would also catapult his other career, his career in general. I honestly believe that because it's almost like there's this thing in his head that's, oh, I'm never going to be good enough or whatever for. Of course, he is good enough because he's already played. What I mean is a gain, and I feel sorry for the guy. I really do.
I do, mate. I actually think that Chris is probably a better team player than Tyler. Perhaps Tyler's got a very single focused or a single minded approach, maybe similar to the Mike DeShane, and people like that.
Hmm.
Because you need a good team dynamic. You need all the guys to gel, and I think that's why Billy and Skylar have been staples. But I do think that they need something different. I'm going to throw Jeremy Sose in there. I think Sose deserves this opportunity after all these years.
I'd love to see it. He had a great world championship.
Yeah,
I think it does hurt his cause a little that he didn't go to the U.S. Open. When I had Jeremy on the podcast, he said, "I want players that are out there competing."
yeah.
And if you think about it, like when the announcement was made, I thought that was kind of weird, by the way, just kind of like coming out and saying that Justin Bergman is not in contention. It's kind of like them announcing, well, yeah, uh, I don't know, Del Sim is not in contention this year. It's like one of those things. Why do you have to come out and
And never
explicitly
has been.
say that? You know what I mean? And so, but they made that announcement. So obviously, Justin is not going to be. Side pocket.
Oh,
He's not going to be on the team. Um, so I was thinking, hey, this is the shot I think for Jeremy, especially after that World Championship performance. But he didn't go to the U.S. Open. So
yeah, I hear that, but guys have to make a living. The ones that are on that periphery step that aren't full time pros, but do have the ability. They're the ones that are not missing out as such because obviously it is the biggest. I agree with Jeremy. I think you should be touring. I think you should be competing. I think you should show that desire to want to make the team in that regard.
yeah.
That seemed rough. And the
So
coin,
to finish answering the question, and by the way, thanks, Paul. I did update the score. Um, I guess, and I kind of said this to Jeremy. I think a lot of us were hoping that someone would emerge this year and it would be kind of a no-brainer, like Jeremy or like Danny Olson, somebody like that. Just like, wow, they're playing great. This guy's the guy this year. But I haven't seen it really. So I think it's gonna have. I think we're talking Billy again. I think we're talking Chris Reinhold again, and that last spot is going to be kind of interesting.
Josh Roberts, maybe.
I'd love to see Josh Roberts. Josh is one of those players where I kind of feel like he's not going to buckle under the pressure, and his knowledge of he plays all games well, and his knowledge of one pocket, will come into play. In different times where he could maneuver the cue ball and play safe. So I'd love to see Josh. I'm a huge fan of Josh. Although he won't message me back. I'm trying to interview him. Josh Roberts, if you're listening, I'll be on the Josh Roberts fan club for the Moscone Cup if you message me back, please.
I enjoyed his commentary, actually, in the one pocket. It was good to get inside his head.
Dell, he is, I think, so obviously Jeremy Jones is the cream of the crop when it comes to commentating and one pocket knowledge. But Josh commentating one pocket is a treat. I mean, because he really takes you through every possible scenario. I noticed that he did the event, the West Coast Challenge out here at Griff's a couple years ago, and I didn't know who was talking for a while, but I said, I love this guy. I don't know who it is. And then it was like, oh, it's Josh Roberts. And I was like, well, that makes sense. Great one-pocket commentator.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was refreshing, actually, just to hear someone's different take.
Yeah.
You play the deliberate. We're getting a DF. Look at that. Don't see that very often.
No. Corby Davis. Sorry, Del.
No, I'd like to see a junior come through. I think a lot of the junior events that have gone through this year with the Dinospheres Cup and obviously, Rahana's tour as well. There's a lot of upcoming juniors, and I think the next 2 or 3 years are going to be exciting.
Yeah, there's that kid Shane Wolfert who's I think he's just out of the juniors, maybe a little bit older now. Nathan Childress down there in Virginia, heck of a junior player.
Landon Hollingsworth.
Yeah.
I was going to say, look at this, guys. If he fouls again here, he's on 2 fouls, and look where the 2-8 is.
How do you lock this one up, though? I think you've got to take the run out. There's no way you'll go for the 3 foul hit.
Yeah, you have to go for the run.
Nowhere to get safe.
You don't get extra points for a 3 foul. If you did, you would try it. But here, you just run out and get the win.
Yeah, 100%.
I bow to your greater knowledge, guys. I just love snooker so much.
There's nothing more satisfying than a 3 foul, I must admit.
It kind of feels like an extra point, You've got the pro on 3 fouls. It doesn't really happen that often.
It's a mental edge. I know whenever I get 3 fouled, I'm distraught. I'm really upset.
Out here we have a pretty active amateur scene in Arizona and active Facebook, and I'd say it's probably once every month or two somebody posts something about 3 foul and like, no, these people, trying to get a 3 foul on somebody, like really offended that people try to 3 foul them, I'm like, look, it's part of the game,
Yeah. It's a big sign of respect, if they're trying to do that.
Yeah.
There's another one, good one, Bobby Hooker, yeah. Lucas Fracasso Varna, another upcoming guy. Under the wing of Jason Shaw up there, and US1 Billiards as well, and snookers. Always in action now.
That would be interesting in the case match against Jason Shaw, and takes him down.
Yeah, I mean he was in the box with Mike DeShane. Actually, I was watching the stream last night from Rhode Island and Providence.
Was that Mike DeMarco and Ship the Cash?
Ship the Cash, yeah, Ship the Cash on their live stream and Snookers Live. Really good.
Love that guy.
They have a great scene up there. Really good scene.
Mike is Mike's first class. If you guys haven't checked out Ship the Cash, check it out. Heck of a guy. Actually, Mark White and I met him virtually when we did the Danny Olson, Chris Robinson match. Ship the Cash was the streamer on that, and we were the commentators.
Yeah, it was the start of my journey for definite. And Mike really helped, and as you did, and Kenneth Felton, I remember.
All right, maybe Mario's going to catch gear now. Seems to be moving around the table a little more swift. I think he ran out of hair gel, though.
Oh,
Oh, Joey, you are the death of everyone right now.
Joey's just going to do another mic drop.
Right, so I'm going to need you to leave, Joey, because that was 6-5, and now you're 2 away.
Well, I got an update on the one pocket match next door, and it looks like Denis is up a dime.
Wow.
Over there. Playing the room owner. I hear Dom in the background saying something. I can't make it out, though. Dell, it was pretty cool last night that when we were watching the match, we saw a last name pop in that was Szolnoki, and we talked to Oliver afterwards, and it was his sister who tuned in. That was kind of cool.
I love that. That's awesome.
From Hungary, not Hungary.
We are in Hungary right now. This void where we bring everyone together.
Yeah.
This virtual world.
My buddy Corby Dayhoff would like to see Oscar Dominguez as the 5th.
Ooh.
I'd like.
He's still there, right?
Yeah, I mean, Oscar's certainly capable.
Yeah, he's got a great attitude for people to listen, to learn from, especially. He's got a great work ethic around the game and outside of it as well.
Yeah.
Szolnoki.
Ooh.
Please.
You try that little kind of one pocket kick where you kind of brush off the one and send it back on the other side of the table, and cue ball goes up behind that 8-9 and didn't get there.
Mario looks like he's late for something, because I've never seen him play this fast. Or is he just frustrated?
Yeah, he's got to be frustrated. He knows this is streamed. These guys have a lot of pride, and they play for gas money. So
His hair looks a little flat, I think.
That's what I said. He's out of hair gel. Normally see his hair up a little higher.
Let him shoot behind him. It should be fairly routine. These ones, speed controls everything. Do you like to go one rail, just float this one up, or do you like to use a side rail?
I like to use that second rail, slow the cue ball down a little.
Picking up pace there. You see that?
Yeah, you hit it pretty firm.
Another one. I always get in between on these as well. I struggle, not struggle, but I need to make a decision early. Either I'm going to use a heavy inside or I'm going to go 3 rails.
Yeah. So if you find yourself like doing what he's doing right now, do you kind of feel like you're getting less and less confident?
Yeah, almost. I like to make quick decisions. You see, he changed his mind there and went for the heavy inside.
Yeah.
Very nicely done. Giddy up, horsey. Come on, baby. Commentator must be an Aussie. I don't know. It's because I've been living in the US for too long. I have a half and half accent that sounds like Aussie. Naturally British.
I'm going down the top 100 U.S. players on Fargo rate right now, and of course you got Shane, then you got Mike DeShane, who's probably not going to be on the team. You got Sky Woodward, Justin, who's not going to be on the team. Then you got Corey, which, I think Corey, it was really rough on him last year, kind of getting pulled up at the last minute. And so I think if he had more time to prepare, work with the team, I think he'd play better than he played last year. But with the last year kind of being fresh in people's, people's mind, I don't know that would be a popular pick. But then right behind that, you have Oscar Dominguez. Then you have some of the older, uh, like legendary players like Rodney Morris and Earl Strickland. Then you got a Billy Thorpe, then a Josh Roberts, Johnny Archer, Jonathan Pinegar, Hennessy. Here's an intriguing one. How about Jeremy Seaman? I don't know too much about him, but I know he's been playing really well. He's in Michigan.
Yeah, he was in action, right? He was in action just recently. Who did he play? Or is he scheduled to play Alex Pagulayan? Is that him?
No.
Different
I
guy?
don't think so.
I see things on Facebook and I scroll past them. But Shane McMinn's actually a good call as well.
Yeah, he was the next one on the list. And then there's a good player in Florida, doesn't travel much, Anthony Maglino.
Just haven't up the ratings there.
Tyler Steyer, Scott Frost, Jeremy Sosi, Max Eberly. A couple years ago, Max Eberly was in the running. If you remember, I think it was when Johan was the captain, they had the camps. And in those camps, Max was one of the finalists. Mitch Ellerman was one of the finalists.
Mitch, yeah.
Yeah, and
Russia? Did they go to Russia? They went to the Russia.
they went to
Cup, right?
the Kremlin Cup, and I believe Tyler Steyer won that year, the Kremlin Cup.
He did, yeah. It was a big feather in his cap.
People have talked about maybe Tony Chohan mixing it up and putting somebody in there that you wouldn't kind of anticipate, because Tony's rotation game is actually very underrated, and we know he doesn't have a problem playing under pressure. I mean, he plays those huge money sets.
Yeah, no drama playing under pressure, that's for sure. I think you need that, I think this is why we see a lot of the same players picked as well, because you need to understand the pressure of that arena. I couldn't even imagine what it feels like to walk out and try and play your best game in that arena. Couldn't even imagine.
Well, I imagine that as a player, what I would try to do is just kind of ignore it and play to the table, right? It's just a pool table. It's 9 foot by 4.5, and there's 6 pockets, and you just play pool, what you've been doing your whole life. But it sounds, a lot easier than it is, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, people struggle differently with pressure. Do you get the butterflies? Do you get the shakes? The head shakes, the arm shakes. It affects people differently. That's why I think these guys are so good. It just doesn't seem to affect them.
Bring back Earl Strickland is what I say. One last time. One last hurrah.
I like it.
I think it'd be great on commentary. I think if you not, just let him do his thing.
Yeah, I think he should be involved in some way. I'd love to see it. He's too much of a legend to just slowly disappear from it.
Put him in the crowd. I put him in the crowd and put a mic on him. That'd be amazing.
Good idea, Del. I think he'd be fighting everyone, don't you?
I honestly don't think so. I think he's generally, he's normally in good company. The problem is he gets egged on. That's what I find.
Yeah.
He gets antagonized.
So,
but if you
guys,
talk to him, he's just a normal human. He's just a normal human being.
I haven't had the pleasure yet. Hopefully I will one day.
We're trying to work it out right now with Dominick what we're going to do after this, because Denis is still in action. Yeah. And I don't think he wants to get out of that game. I think the game's pretty good for him. So we may call it after this match, or we may adjust and head over to the one pocket table. I'm not sure, but hang with us. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And to the point you guys were making about Earl Strickland, by all accounts, he's a total pain to play against, but is a decent human being, outside of pool, off the pool table. Everybody says that. Like, he's got a big heart, super nice guy, but it's just when he's playing pool,
Yeah, he becomes a competitor. You see that in people. They have a game face and then they have a persona off the table. Earl is pretty much the same person, but I feel like when he's at the table, he's fierce. He's a fierce competitor. He wants to win. But very analytical too. There's a lot of things that he's brought to the game that people have taken on as an evolution of the sport.
Yeah.
I'm about to buy a 16 mil tip.
I wouldn't go that far. Horses for courses, you know what I mean?
Well, have you had him on the podcast? You haven't, Joey, have you?
Earl Strickland?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Come on, man. I want to see him.
You should do a few backups, get some more terabytes in there.
Mark, you're supposed to be my setup guy. You're supposed to get me these interviews with everybody.
Well, I can't get you Earl Strickland. Dell's the man for that, I think.
I've been around a bit, mate. Been around a bit. Not bad for an amateur.
Looks like Mario's in good shape here.
Come on, Mario. Let's level it up. Level it up.
How did this happen? It kind of feels like he's out of this match, and all of a sudden it's 7-7.
He's got a couple of Fargo boosts.
Yeah, sorry, Corey, I didn't see your comment there. This is 9-ball. So they're playing a 9-ball set. This is, just an opportunity to give you guys some top European professionals. They're in Florida right now. Dominick Dunn from Dunsky's Dungeon just put this together, and there's an opportunity if you'd like to donate some money. It's scrolling across the bottom. All the proceeds will go to the players, myself, Mark White, last night Melina Mike, tonight Del Sim. We're just here providing some commentary for you. Just, trying to get the word out. More pool is better, and we want you guys to enjoy it. Gonna predict the 5 in the corner on this break. Man.
Wow, you should be a magician.
Look at
I
this.
know this. I know this sport, Mark. I know it.
Wide open rack.
Yeah, man. This is this game gets easy when you break like that. Little bit to do from the 2 to the 3. He just wants to kind of probably in Mark White terminology, screw the cue ball back about 18 inches or so.
18 inches, or what is that, diamond and a half?
Yeah.
About 45 centimeters.
Okay, maybe he doesn't want to screw it. Maybe he just wants to punch it.
He couldn't have placed it better with his hand. Mark will get that reference.
that was that John Virgo?
John Vert, absolutely inch perfect.
Do you remember the great John Pullman?
John Pullman, yeah.
Yeah.
He was the referee. Was he the referee?
No, he was a player with the big glasses. He was a world billiard champion, I think. I think he might have won the world snooker as well once. But he became a commentator, and he was commentating on the first televised 147, Steve Davis, that night.
Wow, I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that. I thought he was a referee. I'm thinking of the wrong person.
And he said, I can see, guess you can see the pocket closing up and closing up. The ball's getting bigger, the pocket's getting smaller.
My favourite was the whispering Ted Lowe.
Yeah, great. And that's a great story why he whispered, right? Del, you know that? Because he used to sit in the audience.
That's right.
Yeah.
He was great till it was so suspenseful listening to him just whisper away and the crowd deadly silent. It was incredible, really. And actually, Sid Waddell on the complete opposite end of the spectrum was also, my favourite 9-ball commentator of all time.
Mine too. I was watching it today with Trevor, the old Steve Davis. No, it's not. Sorry, Jimmy White, Alex Higgins against Mike Massey, and I don't remember the other guy's name. And Sid Waddell was commentating on that. It was amazing. I think he was with Jim Rempe.
Jim Rempe, yeah. If you get the opportunity, guys, and you don't know what we're talking about, just Google Sid Waddell into YouTube. and you'll see he does darts and Moscone Cup and some other things. Fantastic commentator, sadly passed away, but what a guy he was.
Sweating like a hippo in a power shower.
Pretty good, actually, Mark. That was pretty decent.
I had to tone it down a bit. I don't want to wake Trevor up. I think he might have fallen asleep in the next bedroom.
He's always asleep. This man takes more naps.
I think he used to be a cat in a previous life.
I gotta meet this guy.
Where's see Denis walking by there, Joey? I mean, he's finished.
No, probably coming back from a break. Because the next match was supposed to be Denis versus Alex, but Denis is still caught in that action match over there, and I think he's winning money, so he doesn't want to stop.
I've just realised I'm on the hill. I'm on the hill, Joey.
Yeah, you are.
Come on, Mario.
I don't know if we're ever gonna meet in person though, Del. Like we've had some near misses. I don't want to. At the risk of sounding really weird, I did see you in the bathroom at Skinny Bob's one time, but I was like a little shy and you were a little big, so I was like, I'm not really gonna strike up a conversation at the urinal.
Keep it clean, Joey. I've just realised where Hungary is, Joey. It's right next to Narnia.
Narnia. Yeah, I tell you what, Mario got he rushed a little on that shot, and he did not get where he needs to get on this 4-ball, and now things get a little tough. He's going to want to stroke the 4 in nice and smooth and try to work the cue ball back across the table. Touch it inside English here. Let's see if he can execute. He hit it well.
Such a difficult shot, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, Horatio, I guess these guys are probably going to be heading to Ohio next week for the U.S. Pro Billiards Series in, what is that, Mark? What town is that?
Wilmington.
Wilmington, Ohio.
At the Roberts Arena.
That ball rattled there.
What a shot.
Yeah. Looks like he's going to...
Oh.
Looks like it might be an early night, guys.
I think it is.
It's been awesome. If I don't get the opportunity, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Joey, for inviting me in. Had a great time.
Oh, Del, thanks so much for coming, man. We had a blast with you. It's an honor to call the match with you. And, guys, we're going to kill the feed, and we will bring it up again if anything happens out there. So just thanks so much for the support. We really do appreciate you. This is Joey Ryan from Pool Player Podcast. Mark, you want to say goodbye?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Del very quickly. It's always, and I really mean this, I say it every time, it really is an honour, Del. Your knowledge is great. You've got some great stories, and you're just fantastic in the booth. And I really do hope that one day we get to do it sat next to each other.
You're making me blush here, Mark. Can't say it.
So that we don't interrupt each other, so that I don't keep interrupting you, so I can look at you. It's so difficult. So apologies for the interruptions every now and then, but I can't help it.
Comes with age, mate. It's all right.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the support, and we will